When we think of dinosaurs, we usually picture colossal predators, herds of giants, and dramatic battles for survival. Yet, dinosaurs also lived complex social lives, and just like animals today, they needed to find mates, compete for attention, and pass on their genes. This side of their story, the romance of the Mesozoic, is often forgotten, but reveals just as much about their evolution as their bones or teeth. Fossil evidence, new discoveries, and comparisons with modern animals suggest that dinosaurs invested enormous effort in courtship and display. Their horns, crests, sails, and feathers were not just armor or survival tools. They were symbols of attraction and dominance. In this episode, we'll uncover how dinosaurs displayed affection, fought rivals, and even cared for their young. By exploring both fossils and modern analogs, we will see that romance was a powerful evolutionary force shaping dinosaurs into the creatures we know today. Sexual selection is a cornerstone of evolution, while natural selection favors traits that improve survival. Sexual selection rewards features that attract mates even if they seem impractical. Think of a peacock's heavy tail or a moose's massive antlers. These structures are costly to carry, but they advertise health and strength. Dinosaurs face the same pressures. Many of their most dramatic ornaments, frills, horns, crests, sails were far larger than what survival alone would dictate. For example, ceratopsians evolved enormous head shields, while hadrosaurs grew extravagant head crests. These features likely impressed potential mates, signaling good genes and robust health. In some cases, these traits could also intimidate rivals, preventing constant physical fights. The evolutionary logic is simple. If you are strong enough to carry an enormous display and still thrive, then you are worth choosing as a partner. In this way, sexual selection helped drive dinosaurs toward greater diversity and extravagance. Parasaurolophus, one of the most iconic hadrosaurs, is famous for its backward-curving head crest. For decades, scientists debated its function. Some thought it was a snorkel, others suggested a cooling system. But modern CT scans have revealed that the crest contained hollow tubes and resonating chambers, perfectly designed to produce sound. These deep, low-frequency calls may have traveled for miles, acting as signals to attract mates or communicate with the herd. Imagine a group of Parasaurolophus standing on a floodplain at dawn, their haunting calls echoing like foghorns across the ancient landscape. Males with larger crests could produce deeper, louder calls, advertising their health and maturity. Females may have chosen mates based on these vocal displays, much as songbirds do today. The idea that dinosaurs sang for love adds a poetic dimension to their lives. It reminds us that prehistoric romance was not silent, but filled with sound. In 2025, paleontologists announced the discovery of a new dinosaur from the Isle of Wight, Istiorachis macarutheri. This medium-sized predator carried a striking sail along its back, formed by elongated vertebrae. While thermoregulation is one possibility, many experts suggest the sail functioned as a display feature. Imagine a tall, brightly colored fin rising along the back, flushed with blood during excitement, shimmering in sunlight. In the animal kingdom, visual signals like this often play a role in courtship or dominance. Lizards extend throat fans, birds spread wings, and some mammals display manes or colorful patches of skin. Istiorachis may have used its sail to intimidate rivals or impress mates, showing off vitality and strength. The discovery provides direct evidence that display structures were widespread and diverse among dinosaurs. Far from being simple survival machines, they were artists of attraction, investing in beauty as well as power. Triceratops is usually remembered as a living tank, its 3 horns and massive frill facing off against Tyrannosaurus rex. but fossil evidence suggests these features also served as instruments of romance. Many Triceratops skulls show healed wounds on the horns and frill scars not from predators, but from duels with other Triceratops. Males likely locked horns in ritual combat, much like deer today, competing for mates and territory. The size, symmetry, and condition of the horns signaled genetic fitness. A strong male with impressive horns and few scars would have been a desirable partner. The frill, once thought of as armor, may also have been brightly colored and used in display. Ceratopsians evolved frills of incredible shapes, from short collars to extravagant fans. These were evolutionary billboards, catching attention across the herd. For Triceratops, romance was a mix of combat, strength, and visual beauty. Not all dinosaurs relied on size or weapons. Many smaller theropods had feathers, some with iridescent pigments preserved in fossil form. Microraptor, for example, may have shimmered in shades of blue and black, similar to crows or starlings. Feathers could be spread, puffed, or waved in complex dances, much like birds of paradise perform today. Even Velociraptor, often imagined as a scaly predator, likely carried quills and feathers that could be used for communication and display. Bright colors or bold patterns would have played a role in attracting mates. Imagine a male dinosaur leaping, spreading feathers, and flashing colors under the Cretaceous sun, while rivals did the same. The rituals may have included sound, movement, and light, combining into elaborate courtship displays. This aspect of dinosaur life shows how romance fueled creativity in evolution, just as it does in modern birds. How do we know dinosaurs were colorful? For years, paleontologists assumed skin and feathers decayed without trace. But microscopic discoveries changed everything. In fossils of Anchiornis, Microraptor, and Sinosauropteryx, scientists found tiny capsule-shaped structures called melanosomes, the same pigment organelles that give birds their hues today. By comparing their shape and density with modern species, scientists could infer colors: long sausage-shaped melanosomes for black or iridescent blue, rounder ones for chestnut red, and mixed patterns for mottled plumage. This means we can now reconstruct not only how dinosaurs looked, but how they might have signaled each other. A male Anchiornis with glossy black wings and a red crown wasn't just camouflaged, it was advertising. Bright colors could mean good health, strong genes, or readiness to breed. Fossil pigments turned stone into a window on prehistoric passion, revealing that color and beauty were as ancient as life itself. Courtship was often a violent affair. Fossil skeletons provide dramatic evidence of battles fought over mates. Triceratops skulls with puncture marks, Allosaurus skulls with healed bite wounds, and Pachycephalosaurus domes with cracks all point to intraspecific combat. These injuries show that males clashed repeatedly, testing strength and endurance, like modern elk or giraffes. These contests may have been ritualized, with clear winners and losers, but relatively few fatalities. The scars of battle were part of love story, proving that dinosaurs invested as much energy in competing for mates as they did in surviving predators. For paleontologists, these injuries are invaluable. They show not just anatomy, but behavior, written in bone. The wounds of love tell us that romance in the Mesozoic could be brutal, but it was central to the continuation of the species. Romance did not end with mating. Dinosaurs also cared for their young. Fossilized nesting grounds show colonies of Maiasaura, whose very name means good mother lizard. Adults built nests, laid eggs, and brought food to hatchlings. Oviraptor fossils preserve adults crouched over nests. Wings spread to shelter eggs, showing devotion and protection. Some species may have returned to the same nesting sites year after year, forming large breeding colonies much like seabirds today. Parental care was part of the reproductive strategy by investing in their offspring. Dinosaurs increased survival chances. In evolutionary terms, this was the ultimate act of love, nurturing the next generation. These discoveries reveal that dinosaurs were not just solitary fighters, but social, caring animals, capable of complex family bonds. The romance of dinosaurs extended from dazzling courtship to the shared work of raising young. When people picture dinosaur romance, they often imagine roaring beasts from movies. But science paints a subtler, richer picture. Myth 1. Tyrannosaurus rex, roaring like a lion. Reality, its skull suggests it produced deep, resonant infrasound, more like a crocodile's rumble than a scream. Myth 2. Velociraptor as a man-sized killer. In truth, it was turkey-sized, feathered, and probably used visual signals rather than endless combat. Myth 3. Display structures only for fighting. Research on Spinosaurus and Istiorachis shows sails may have been brightly patterned sexual signals. Even the idea that dinosaurs were dull gray reptiles is outdated. Many were colorful, social, immersive, and expressive. Science replaces the Hollywood monster with a living creature that sang, danced, and displayed affection. The truth, grounded in fossil evidence, is far more fascinating and deeply relatable to us today. Comparing dinosaurs to modern species brings their romance into sharper focus. Birds of paradise perform intricate dances with feather displays. Small theropods may have done the same. Peacocks spread extravagant tails. Hadrosaurs grew crests. Deer duel with antlers. Triceratops locked horns. Lizards flash throat fans. Istiorachis may have displayed a sail. Crocodiles guard nests. So did Maiasaura. The continuity is striking. The strategies of love are ancient, reused by evolution across millions of years. Sexual selection explains why dinosaurs evolved features far beyond simple survival. Their love lives were not accidents, but powerful forces that shaped their appearance, behavior, and evolution. Understanding this makes dinosaurs feel less alien. They were bound by the same rules of attraction and reproduction that guide life today. Their romance connects us to them in an unexpected, very human way. Dinosaurs were more than skeletons in museums or monsters on screens. They were living beings with desires, struggles, and relationships. Their frills, horns, crests, sails, and feathers were not just weapons of survival, but signals of love. From the trumpeting songs of Parasaurolophus to the flashing sails of Istiorachis, from the dueling horns of Triceratops to the shimmering feathers of Microraptor, dinosaurs invested in romance as much as any creature on Earth. The fossil record preserves these stories in scars, pigments, nests, and bones. To see dinosaurs only as predators and prey is to miss half the story. They were also lovers, fighters, parents, and performers. Their heartbeat of prehistory was not just the drum of survival, but the rhythm of courtship, echoing across millions of years. And when we study their romance, we glimpse a truth that bridges past and present. Love has always shaped life on Earth, even in the Age of Dinosaurs. If you want to see dinosaur romance alive today, look no further than the birds outside your window, when a peacock spreads its feathers, when a cardinal sings, or when a crane dances beside its mate. You're witnessing echoes of the Mesozoic.